Hello there. Welcome guys to another Keen stream. Who have we got in the chat tonight? I'm once again joined by Philip, or Philcon, who has been leading the charge on development of the economy update.
Hi guys.
Happy birthday, Mikey. Late, I'm not late, just on time, perfect. Oh, there we go. So the purpose of today's stream is, of course, the test has officially supposed to have ended, but it might be just live for a little bit longer if you're lucky. And we really want to, with Philip here, kind of go over some of the kind of like, not say post-mortem, but something like that of the recent public test. Kind of any questions that you guys might still have about the update. If you want to, ask any. And if you want to like kind of lay down any thoughts or feedback, maybe Philip can share as well some of his findings from hosting. So mainly, how have you guys found it? Like one word to describe it, maybe we could start with one word to describe the public test experience. And while I'm waiting, I'll just say I think the best for running a server, you're best off running i7, tends to be high clock speed as opposed to multiple cores. So choose like something like an i7 9700K or something over, say, a Xeon normally. Is the update going live? Not today, Junabi. The team is. So what's the steps now, Philip? Now that we've this test is wrapped up. So what's the plans now?
We have to fix bugs.
Fix bugs, yes. And how's the how's the support site been? Are you kind of feeling quite good about the progress made on some of the stuff?
I think most of the stuff from the support side was like fixed, or we found the steps to reproduce it. So we will fix it in near future. And that's it. We didn't see some crazy crashes during the test.
Which is part of the reason why we extended it, right?
It was some small issues here and there, but yeah, that's it. So it's not like done yet, but it was polished enough that we could run the test for a week.
I really like the stations. Having the contract was cool, but also the escort seemed broken on one of the servers. I mean, again, I'm not sure if you any ideas about that. And in what sense, Charlie? What were they not spawning? What was happening there? No bug fix for your fridge. I'm sorry to hear that, Black Box. Question. Yes, but best if you guys. It's actually really good if you do the little bracket to the question. It's the easiest to spot the questions that are questions about this. Why has the size of ore nuggets been reduced? I didn't even notice that. Like I guess when you mine stuff, the little chunks of rock. I didn't even notice that.
The size was not like reduced. It was reduced the
model, right?
Amount of ore, right? In general.
Oh, the amount of ore that you get from mining.
Yeah,
so it's
because the ore is in the size of this nugget.
So if you pick up a big,
so the size is smaller because there is less ore in those.
Also, there was modders there's already been some really cool stuff that modders have. I saw some modders made some faction icons. There was a pack that was Twitch themed that Northy Park made, and it had like all the Twitch emotes and stuff there. So again, there's from what I've heard, there's quite a lot that modders are able to do. Obviously, we added it to the visual scripting, and I think there was some guys trying to work out doing some like casino or something like that. So it's there he is, Northy Park in the chat. So and you can link that up if you want, Northy, to show people an example of what's possible. But I think modders are probably still figuring out the full potential. So welcome everyone who's joined us tonight. It's great to see you. Alright, are the contracts rewards set in stone? They could use some tweaking. Escort. The amounts you get, right? I mean, it changes. It's varying, but based off.
We will review the latest test, and based on those numbers, we will change those rewards. In the previous test, in this test we changed the howling contracts, So if you saw that the howling contracts could give you a few millions, so we will review the numbers and we will see. It depends on the live data from the test.
Mm-hmm. And what's been the from spectating? I don't know, from spectating the official servers. What's been kind of like the coolest thing you've seen? Have you kind of like watched some players do something really interesting, or a cool base, or a cool ship, or safe zones?
I was checking who has the most money on the server,
Okay,
and then I went like into hide mode and was observing what he was doing.
And what was the most impressive? Who had the most money?
One player had over 10 million in 3 days, so that was lots of money. But he wasn't cheating, or she, I don't know if it's girl, boy.
That's quite impressive though, 10 million, because that's enough. It's actually still not, because the most expensive cruiser, like that I feel the red cruiser is like 128 million, right?
400
or 400 million.
Yeah,
so actually 10 million isn't that much money, right? in the kind of long term sense. The bounties that are put on players seem too low value. Is there going to be changes to that?
In value, like money?
Yeah, the value.
Because I thought that the reward there is fun, that you are actually try to kill another player, not the money itself. No.
Well, I think
it's a trade-off, right? You know.
I mean, I think it's
money, and it's actually, I changed the reputation on lately on those bounties, so it will give you more reputation.
Okay.
Like double what is now. So it's not just about money, right? It's about reputation and of course fun for the players.
In terms of balancing things, one thing I can think of, there was a thing. Lots of people feel that magnesium ore is OP. The fact that people said that they did a couple of magnesium ore runs and had millions, you know.
Yeah, but remember that to make a magnesium powder.
Yeah.
One magnesium powder you need, I think, 1,000 ore or something like that.
Okay.
And you will need like few minutes to make one. The price is based on the price of the ore and how much you need. You will probably need several tons of magnesium.
Okay.
And then you will need, like, even with the one refinery, you will need like few hours to actually make that powder. So it's not.
There's just some people who did definitely bring it up, but maybe there is some thought behind it.
Yeah, but because they forgot that it's not 1-to-1.
Right. Yes. Well,
and they forgot that it takes time to make stuff. And if you calculate the time plus how much ore you need, then the price is like this.
I mean, there was one thing. I just coming back to what was the most money you guys made? Like, obviously, Philip saw 10 million, but yeah, you guys saying 10 million is nothing. 10 million is change. So, what was the most money that you made in a legit way? Like, no dev hacks or anything like that, or admin hacks. Like, just like the biggest amount you had in your factions bank or in your individual bank. I'm curious. Don't alter it.
Yeah.
24 million. Hey, Dunker, 100 million. Man, I think I haven't had anyone make more than that, Dunker. That's very impressive.
We will see the
2.6 million solo.
We actually have the logs in there, so you know who has the money and what kind of contracts that they do
to make that money.
Yeah.
I'm curious
what they sold and that kind of stuff.
I was about to say, Duncan. I was about to ask you how you made that. So plat plus magnesium and some hauling. Hauling is really not worth the times though. Minerals were super easy. Apparently, Northie Park earned 270 million, which is the biggest number we've seen in chat right now for one mission to acquire a bunch of platinum. That's insane.
But you need a refinery,
It's a lot of platinum.
You need to find platinum actually.
Yeah.
You need to but it's
Easy
cool.
clap. Yeah.
And howling, I think worth it. Depends what you are after, but there are players who like exploring, so hauling is pretty much that.
Space truckers.
Plus you get some money. You can get $1 million or $2 million from one mission or from one contract. And of course the hauling is the way how to find new stations. So one of the ways.
If you take a hauling contract, it's always to another station. Yeah. I mean, one of the things I did see people bring up was the fact about having either shorter contracts that were less money, or even like planet-based escort missions. It wouldn't be like rovers because that's probably kind of complicated with the terrain, but like atmospheric ones. But I feel like, didn't you see hauling is more end game, and you wanted to keep it that way? You didn't want to have like smaller hauling missions, like 100k or something. You wanted to keep it to the thousands of k. Is that right?
Depends on, like, it's random a little bit.
Yeah.
So can search contract have some of the grids for the search contract have beacon.
Yeah, some of them.
Few of them don't. They are harder to find, but they either have beacon or some light blinking.
I found it was quite, the search contracts sometimes on some of the terrain was really tough. It's really hard to find.
But interesting that in our data, like in this form which we have after the exit of the
you
game,
guys hopefully filled out.
It's pretty much. It's still like yellow. Yellow is like okay. It's like people in general don't feel for search contract. People in general don't feel it's hard.
Okay.
And then they don't feel it's bad. It's like okay. I think it had a little bit more not good, but it was like, in general it was fine. So good. Maybe we will change a little bit some grades, but we will see. I will have to check the latest numbers.
Good. There's lots of questions coming in. That's fantastic.
Can you get back from hostile reputation? Yeah, you can. You have to find some friend of that faction.
Yeah.
And we added this to the tooltip, so you can see what kind of friends this faction has. So if some faction has a friend, you can run contracts for that friend. That's pretty much the easiest way how to do that.
He was talking about in space, I think, because I have heard that on a planet the search contracts are quite easy because at least you know it's going to be on this level, this plane. Whereas when
try it on the moon, it's very hard on the moon.
But still, when it's in space,
there is a lot of
It's rather than being kind of like a circle, it's actually a spherical radius which you can find that.
No, one of the programmers found a easy way to find it in space. If you stand and the sun is behind you,
okay,
and then you slightly move, you will see the grid on the background.
It's a good point, actually. That's a really good point. But specifically with the sun behind you, so it's shining.
But on the planet, you will not see it this way. So actually, the planet is actually harder.
F5 200 IQ, Ottonen, exactly.
And there is actually one more way how to find grids, but we thought if we should remove it, but on the end it's kind of engineering.
Okay.
So I think people will find it sooner or later, and then we will see if we should
make it easier or something.
If you should remove it or if
okay.
Stays.
Yeah.
Because if they find this step, it's very easy.
Okay. There's
you have to do one thing.
Hackers out there can get easy access.
Someone found it.
So
okay. We will think about it if we can somehow
Don't tell anybody.
limit that.
Five head indeed. Yeah. Yeah. So any more questions? Any more questions coming in?
Like 3 more questions, guys.
Because Philip's got to go head off. He can't stay around, so I'll stay a little bit longer and ask you more questions and just maybe if there's more discussion. But suggestions and ideas, SF Tybo, there's a website for that, and I think Blitz in the chat can link that to you. We have a support site set up to report bugs and ideas and vote on ideas and bugs for this specific public test.
Does the price of the items in the store vary depending on the user buys? Yes, it does. There are economy ticks, and I think it's 15 minutes or 20 minutes right now. It will change the price based on users' behavior. Can modded planets have NPC spawns added to them?
When you first shift, if you just paste it in.
You would have to restart the economy, or you will have to paste the planets and then enable economy. And you have to prepare the world because the stations are generated on
load
on first start.
Oh, okay. Well, normally, yeah.
Are we gonna have player ships trading now? We are still working on this and thinking how to do this. So I cannot promise you anything. For reward fueling, when you purchase a ship, can you display the same window and play sound? So you want some sound?
Yeah, if that yeah, that would be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Because right now it's just buy. It's
I don't know.
That's actually a really good point.
If you go to car shop and the buy car is sound.
It depends. Open a bottle of champagne or something. It depends what you're buying.
Depends on the car.
Depends on the car, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
There was actually, that reminds me though of, you asked about the. Actually, no, I've gone blank now. Something about what you Draken said. Shit buying. Oh yeah. I meant to bring it up with you actually. What do you think about the idea of potentially having a chance of there being these skin sets, not skin item, the drop pods, we have these random loot. What if there was a chance you could actually buy one with space credits at a store? There'd be a chance it'd spawn there, but it'd be another reason to encourage you to go to check out any stations, and you might go there and they have an emissive in stock, which would be wow. And rather than
maybe some special one.
Oh, special. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I would not. I would probably not mix those two game features, because the game loop on the skins is complete. You get the skin, you can make tokens from it, and from the tokens you can get more skin.
Yeah.
So there is a complete loop on that. So if you put something, another gameplay mechanic in there, it would probably broke something. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it just came up people, because obviously people are still really longing after skins, and they're not always the easiest to get.
Will there be any changes to space? I'm not sure. I don't understand the question.
Okay.
So, what time is now? Oh, okay, one question, guys.
One question. Let's see, what's the best one for you?
This one is, I couldn't find a way to review my active contract. There is a new screen if you press this key.
No, the one up.
No, this one.
Oh, colon key? No,
yeah.
I think it's this one. The one next.
No, it's this.
Okay.
This.
If you press the semicolon key on your keyboard, I think
and
it'll bring up a contract screen.
Yeah, you can rebind it.
Rebind it. Yeah.
Rebind that key. Semicolon. Yeah. Okay, so that was easy question. So one more.
What? 1 minute. 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 1 min I can help you answer some of them with some of the guys in chat as well. But best would be to get a question that only Philip can answer. Let's see. Who's it going to be? No release date. Yeah.
Soon.
When it's ready. Soon.
Soon.
Question. Yeah, soon.
Soon. Trademark.
But what I will touch on, guys, there was something that came up, and we discussed it with the team, and just want to give you a heads up about one of the aspects. 1 second here, just. Yeah, so just to clarify that the update that you have seen, you've been testing, all of that is going to be free to everyone. Some of you guys may have heard rumors or guessed it or suspected it, but there will be some form of premium content for cosmetics and visual kind of bonuses, you could say, and more information on that at a later date. But just to kind of give you a heads up, so like with the previous updates, you know, there will be this mix of free and premium content. But in this update, like it's huge in its gameplay scale. It really is like one of the biggest updates to SE ever, and pretty much, you know, the majority of it is free to everyone. It's the only things that that will be included are going to be kind of yes, like smaller cosmetic, decorative kind of stuff. I'm not sure if you know anything to that, but any hints?
I would like to spoil, but
I will. Yeah.
So, there's so much cool stuff in there, and not just there. So, yeah,
and there's a couple of really nice surprises.
Yeah.
And not, let's just put it like this. There's some really nice surprises that aren't necessarily to do with the economy, but I'll leave it at that. But for now, so this is your leaks today.
And there was someone asking if there will be like more contracts in the future. We actually this was not part of the test. We added even more like. Even like bigger mode API support for the contracts, so you can actually make the mode with custom contract now, like really custom in C#. So any mod can now have his own, like its own
contracts.
Contracts.
So that's pretty cool actually. That's going to be, yeah. There we go. There's some pogs in the chat. That's some excitement there.
Yeah.
Can they make their own icon as well or something? Like, you know, they have this little.
Yeah, you can select this icon and
the banner as well.
Big picture.
The big picture
and the description.
This is big. This is going to be a big deal because people can do all sorts of stuff with that. That's going to be. I mean, what do you guys like? What comes to your mind? Because I know we've got some of our scripters and in the chat. What kind of scenario? What kind of contracts have you already got planned, you think? I know you, Draken and Climb, are both heavy scripter peeps. Voxian says, before you go, thanks to the whole dev team for continually improving the game despite some of the negativity. The game is getting more and more fun over the years. Oh, that's it, yeah. Voxian, thank you. And the team that really appreciates those words. It's very kind. Raid bosses, capture a ship. That's some pretty cool ideas.
Okay, like last question.
Bonus question.
Can we use new LCD pics as a faction logos?
Well, I think probably the way around is what people have been saying.
Okay.
Other way around, I think. Faction logos on LCDs. We want to, don't we?
I still have on my paper. I still have this feature like as a note to make a client-side script which would show the faction logo of the owner of the block, so of the owner of the CD. And I hope it will like make it to to the final version. I hope. I cannot promise it because someone has to do it.
I mean, there are chances. I think there's been in the past we've sometimes added a couple of small things. Can you see potentially if it's something that isn't so much work, even after the release, we could maybe make some tweaks, add little things here and there.
Oh yeah, sure.
So yeah, would be cool if the factions that spawn drone attacks, people they hate. I mean, there's some people are talking about pirates, the pirate faction, which are in the world actually having like the pirate drones protecting the stations. You know, like have like the spat stations. Because I actually found one of the pirate stations on a planet, which was crazy because that was the first time. Like it happened to actually spawn there. And I was like,
there was a like not bug, but a side effect feature that you could actually get the pirates station as the first one in this
really?
datapad. And we actually we removed it, we fixed that. So you should not get pirates from the start.
Can we hear Philcon speak in Czech? I heard he sounds really nice. What can you say? I don't know.
I'm English. I'm not Czech.
he just has Czech accent.
Na zdraví.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could just say something like, "Thank you for leaving your report."
I can say goodbye in Czech. But there was one interesting question.
Okay, hold on.
About the single player. Yes, you definitely can play in single player.
Yeah, definitely
because
benefit.
One of the how to say, one of the inspiration, one of the games which I got the inspiration from is very old. These games like Elite and Freelancer and these kind of games. So yes, it's for the single player too. Okay, guys. Tak užijte si víkend, jo? Nezlobte.
There you go.
A zas někdy nashledanou. Okay, see you guys.
Thank you very much, Philip. Thank you for your hard work and answering questions today. All right, guys. So I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer here and try and answer with the best. I've got Jesse or Blitz in the chat. So I'm going to do my best to answer any more questions that you might have. Let's see. Just again, as Blitz is saying, for those just joining, we're releasing a major free update, Economy, for everyone, but there will also be cosmetic DLC for purchase as well, and there'll be more info on that closer to release. Again, I can't talk about it right now, but there's some really, really exciting surprises, which I think you guys will love, actually. And yeah, see, Climb's happy. I mean, for scripters and scenario makers, it's going to be, I think, really powerful, this update. This is just the beginning, in fact, because as many things are in Space Engineers, we kind of give the systems and the core functionality, and then the community always blows away with their own take on it and their own adaptations of it. So it's very, very, very exciting. Yep, so good so far, Blitz. Ladder 2.0. Right, so again, I'll be looking for any more questions here, guys, or maybe any experiences, any kind of things you want to share, your findings from testing this. The update, you can still test, actually. There was because I wanted Philcon to leave it up until the end of the stream, but obviously, because I thought I might use it, but obviously for today I've just been focused on this. Climb, I'm just going to go ahead and say there's more surprises than that. There's a lot more surprises than that, Climb. So, let's see. Definitely see some great ideas for. Hey, ciao, Zrovnik. Question, since we have the store now and default engineer is extremely OP, I was thinking that we should nerf the current engineer and make it upgradable. So basically, you're talking about character progression and upgrading your suit to be more specific for different scenarios, be that, you know, lighter or faster or stronger. It's been debated ever since the game came out, I think, having suit upgrades, and it's something that I would love to see different model engineers, you know, this kind of bulky guy or some super lightweight scout. So yeah. Surprise mechanics. Let's see. The unknown signals are really already surprise mechanics, but it's free. Now that we're having to make space malls, when we'll be getting the pieces to add a food court. I mean, you've got something to do a food court. You've got like the I guess the desks and the desks. So I mean, the stuff in the in the decorative pack, you can do quite a lot of cool space interiors, you know. I'm an engineer for my scenarios, exactly. Early space. All discovery is pretty sad state. I know current detection can't handle high range. Maybe a tool that can adjust shaders on all texture splotches to highlight all locations, draining suit power, so you still have to get real close. So you're talking, Tyrone, the fact that it's kind of hard to actually find ores at the moment. This isn't something new, right? You're talking about an issue that you've found in general. Don't nerf the player suit. Well, that's something interesting that I was doing on the server I was playing on, was the fact that we had a server where jetpack was disabled on planets, and jetpack only worked in space, and it was super interesting actually. And I don't know if it's for everyone, but personally, I think I totally love that type of gameplay, because you look at your thrusters and they're kind of blue, a bit like the iron thrusters, so it kind of would make sense in a way. And it meant that you had to really make vehicles, scaffolding, all this stuff. And it gave this kind of challenge to building on planets. And I really enjoyed it, and I think all the other people on the server also enjoyed it. Let's see here. Imagine being able to get contracts in the workshop. That would be cool. That would be really cool if you could just shift tab and add, like, subscribe to a contract type in the workshop, and then it would just... boom, it would actually create that, as long as it used vanilla assets, of course. All right, Ali, have a good night, day, if you guys are heading off. No date released yet. No date released. The only announcement today is just the fact that confirming speculations that there will be some premium content that will launch with this update. Of course, totally optional and for cosmetic reasons, and yeah, everything that you've been testing is totally for free. Let's see here. Try and keep the questions for economy, guys, if possible. Are you able to disable time blocks and safe zones as they can be used to extend the 15? Oh, really? That's interesting, Otten. So I guess right now you can automate a timer block to go unlock, lock, unlock, lock, unlock, lock. Do you mean like that? Because of course when you dock to a station, you have 15 minutes. So I'm assuming you can use timer blocks to get around that. Is that right? Oh, you just, of course, because it automatically unlocks for you. So it's right, you just lock, of course. Yeah. It's a good point. It's another kind of exploit, and I think something that, if it hasn't been created on the support site, I recommend doing it, Otten, because I hadn't thought about that one, right? Pay pirates to attack. No, unfortunately not, Mad Dog. I mean, that's the best you got is paying other players, and I'm sure that some factions will be pirate factions, so that's always an option. Remember that in the faction screen, everyone can actually choose to have their the description. So you can put in your description and you make your faction logo piratey and say, we the space pirates, send us your, because of course there's still no bounty system for players that players can create, if you see what I mean. But of course you can kind of do bounties right now, at least, like unofficially. So you can just say, hey, I'll give you this much money, Mr. Pirate Faction, if you go and get, something like that. Mr. Joel. Will cargo ships have credits and new items inside cargo containers so more reasons to capture them? It's a good point, Binary Duck, and I think you're talking about traditional cargo containers. I think the same could be said for actually also for encounters. Like all the existing content that you could find about, I think it'd actually be pretty cool to be able to update all those. I had to see Aragath. Are you in the chat? Is that friendly neighborhoods designer? Because that would be cool. Because obviously we've already added them to the drop pods, but having just like some space credits scattered around and some, you know, some of the new medkit items or whatever, just scattered around the various encounters and cargo ships would be quite cool, I think. But of course, someone has to go through all those and update all those inventories with all that stuff, and has to somehow think not to do too much and so on. We are safe, it seems, I'd have. I won't say any more. I'm happy to pay other players for bounty contracts. No disintegrations, though. I'm hoping that we add them. We talked about it on the last stream a lot, how hopefully it can be an admin, either admin approved or it can be an admin setting to choose whether or not you want player created bounties. But I do think it would, on some servers, it would fit in really well, and certain troublemakers can be punished for, for misbehaving. Will there be a server wipe? Yeah, for sure, Johnny, for sure. If there's, you know, if the update drops or if there is another test, there will be a server wipe, because there could be, you know, balance changing, all sorts. But yeah. If I missed your question, guys, please feel free just to write it down again so I don't miss it. Because of the new faction system, if the turrets are not set to shoot neutral, and then went on to the red of one faction, I guess. I guess so. I guess if you get to a certain reputation system, that suddenly they will appear as enemy. Although in the past that has normally worked where you have to declare war, isn't it? But I think it automatically will turn red if you drop below a certain reputation, right? Because the space pirates actually are red, but then if you get when I hacked it the other day and gave myself reputation points with them, they turned blue, I think, or white. So yeah, so again, about power and health kits being craftable, I see a number of people asking about it tonight. I don't know who it would be up to. I think something like that, it's just down to the design. If enough people, I feel like that would be better to have them as buildable or really expensive, high-end tech, then sure, I think. But I'm not sure about the decision making behind that totally, and if it will change. So it's I don't know what to say. Tyranny, I'm sure there'll be again a mod that will enable them to be built, but they're definitely one of the reasons to something that I think in the game design reasons is to visit the stations for like these special items, so to speak, a bit like the data chips. Yeah, exactly, Climb. That's why they were there, like, so to make zone chips and these items incentives to visit NPC stations, to keep, and so as well. So, I mean, the thing when it comes to like the zone chips, of course, like you don't want to just sit on a pile of resources and have unlimited zone chips because they are kind of impenetrable. So the idea is that you have to go out and find zone chips to keep your thing up. And we had this trouble on our server where I spent like hours looking for zone chips to fuel our safe zone generator, and you know, a good number of the stations didn't actually have any in stock. So we were like, well, damn, we can't power up our safe zone. So there is definitely this kind of like challenge trying to finding them. As for med kits and power kits, I get why people want them to be craftable, because, you know, for missions and operations, you know, you can prepare and so on. It seems mixed. It seems mixed. Health packs are there, Web Panda. Health packs are in the economy, so I know you're making a scenario. So if you're in creative mode, you can just spawn in health kits and just put them into containers. So that's for creative scenarios, health kits, power kits, yeah, easily to have. We're only talking from a survival point of view. Will a wipe be needed to spawn those trading stations? What do you mean, Meh? What do you mean by that one? There will be a wipe of the Keen service, if that's what you're talking about. How many of you guys got a safe zone set up legit in survival mode? Because on our server, we had it up for like a little bit, but it was really tough to get those zone chips, and we didn't really have the power to power it. So I'm curious how many of you guys managed to get your own little safe zone, maybe even a store running up and running. Or if maybe you didn't have enough time, because it is definitely towards the end game of a survival game, you know, to have enough resources to put into that. Will existing worlds? Yes. So if you enable when the update drops, if you go into the settings and enable economy, it should spawn in stations on the planets, I believe. Who was yeah, who asked that question. A camera that can scan the surface for this sort of surface deposits. You're talking like the ore rocks, Jay? I was able to find a station that was selling over 20 chips a pop. All right. Fantastic, Dunker. I haven't heard many people. I didn't see many safe zones set up, so good. It sounds like with your 200 million and so was it 100 million? Sounds like you had a pretty successful game. And were you playing on single player or one of the servers? I think that would be long-term goal would be to have a shop and stuff. Thank you. Okay, let's go there. Let's go wait. Okay, and then you can scan it and say that's magnesium or that's cobalt. So a way to tell from a distance what the material is, rather than like seeing a voxel and having to get close to figure out, like being much clearer from a distance what material it is. Will the original safe zone still exist, or will they be replaced with a new type? Yeah, the original safe zones are still there, so if you want to create an admin safe zone without zone chips or the block, you can do. First, Papega, welcome. Update is soon, TM, when it's ready. I feel like health kits at the moment is almost pointless because there's not much risk to dying the same. Engineers die very quickly. Maybe. I mean, I found them useful a couple times when I was playing. Like, I was like, oh, I'm out of energy, and then I feel energy more so. I mean, I feel with the health kits, there's definitely more of an incentive to turn off auto heal on your servers and worlds now, because you can just use that. But hello from Papega Land. Well, yeah, love me some Papega. See, Red Panda. Oh, yeah, I mean, Red Panda, you're thinking from a creative point of view. Ah, thanks, man. Once you find the resources, you reach a critical mass that makes it pretty easy to get everything you want. It took a couple of days though. Right, so yeah, it would have been a bit of a grind to start with. And I think you said you were also on the official Keen one. Great. And how was performance as well, guys? On your server you're playing on, how was performance on the Keen? Okay, let's say that on the Keen servers, because I know on ours we had some, but we had no PCU limits as well. There wasn't that much in there. It wasn't super crazy, but we had some scripts turned on and so on, so it was a little bit more risky. But how are the Keen servers? Like, and maybe you can say which number you were on. And did any of you guys trade any PCU? Like, did any of you guys find, like, you know, you ended up selling some PCU to your team leader or selling it for good money? I'm kind of curious. Player number 3. Oh, not. Oh, really, you Draken? So are we talking sim speed, FPS stuff? Was better than usual. Says okay. Says Jenny. Okay. Okay, so you Draken's reporting some lower sim speeds. Grids I built got robots on the ground. All test long. Ah, Taroni having some issues then. And all tests, yeah, Keen servers went, I think, I'm not sure what the process was, but they definitely ended down. It's definitely a C. No, I don't want to make anything, but anyone who spells Clang with a K is a heretic. It's official, by official decree. Because, after all, I feel like in official Keen documentation and law, and in instruction manuals for dealing, it's always a C. Yeah. Sorry, Blitz. Conditional Keen servers were worse than normal. Oh, interesting, Nicholas. So you had better luck on on public servers rather than official ones. And Junker said number 2 was better than the current servers. Okay. I think it's because Kraken is, you know, like in KSP they have the Kraken, so I think it's possibly like people see the Kraken as like, you know, Clang is like the Kraken of SC, so maybe people coming from people who play a lot of Kerbal might think like Kraken Clang. That might be an explainer. How about Clang? Clunk. Clang and Clunk. I mean, no, even in Medieval I think it's still CL. I think. I don't know actually. Maybe in Medieval it's K. For the clunk, I don't know. How long have we been going for now? Okay, so we've still been here just under an hour here. Any more questions, guys? But you can spread the news. Feel free to spread the news that there will be some premium content with this update, because there was lots of speculation, there was lots of memes about it, as predicted. So, you know, without kind of not knowing, there will be some, and it will follow a similar kind of pattern to the previous stuff, where it will be focused on cosmetics, not changing gameplay, not giving you, you know, no pay to win. Let's make that clear. So yeah, you want a revolution and change the Clang? Whew. It's just a looping video. It's just like a looping video, so it's just 20 seconds. But because there's nothing moving apart from the thrusters flickering and the safe zone rotating, it's kind of able to loop it quite nicely. I should probably. Would you guys like? This is like, I don't know. Like, I feel like this could be quite cool for a like a wallpaper engine, like some kind of you know, one of those video backgrounds, screensavers. What is the next step for your... Good question. The game is fake. Yeah, alright, boss game. So I'll see if I can... Like, what kind of... You know, when you... Wallpaper engine, does it just take an MP4 file? I've never used it before, but I know lots of people like it. Because if it's just an MP4 file, I can put this video on a Dropbox or like a Google Drive somewhere and make it public, and Blitz can share it, and you guys can just download it. I don't really know what you is it a certain file type for the wallpaper engine? Paul, have a good night. See you later. No release date yet. Commander Shepard, no release date yet. And as I already mentioned, as well as the premium stuff, there will be some really nice surprises. I think, let's say even for people who don't pick up the latest, the latest premium content, there's going to be some nice surprises for those of you. Yeah. Anyway, so I won't say any more. Blitz, you know, Blitz is keeping an eye on me. no leaks. Not too many leaks today. I mean, personally, I want to have some. I've already mentioned it, I think, a little bit. I would love to have some contests. No definites yet, but I would really like to see us do a contest for faction logos. For you guys to submit faction logos, and a contest for you guys to add your ships and creations to the official NPC stores. So hopefully once the release is out of the way, we can cook up some cool competition with some different categories, and you guys can get a chance to have your creation into the game like we did before. Okay, great, Jay. So I'll just I'll do that then. I will next week. Blitz, can you remind me to upload this looped video file, and we can share it. And if people want to use it as a wallpaper or something, they can do. Another commander, yeah. Commander Shepherd and Shepherd and Commander Shoppard. Chuds asked a question. Maybe TM, Chuds. Yeah, this SE music right now. There's a couple of good tracks on today. All right, Otten, have a good night, day. See you. I think we're kind of getting through the questions now. Not so many. I think I did miss some though, so please do repaste if I missed it. Good. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are really excited for this update and are feeling like it's going to breathe some fresh air into the game. So that's fantastic. Speed limits in the safe zones. Ooh. That's actually a really interesting idea, Hormel. That's a really interesting idea. You would just have in the setting be a slider for like max grid speed. So it would force people because right now, of course, you can like blitz in and hit a station and nothing happens, of course, because its damage is off. But it'd be kind of good if it forced you to, you know, stick to 10 meters per second. So at least if you enter it, it'll be like, and then if you ram it, it won't look so ridiculous. It'll be kind of like a, you know, a little nudge. So yeah, plus one in chat for safe zone speed limits. That's actually a really sick idea. I love that. That'd be brilliant. For grids, of course, you wouldn't want to have player speed limit, but I suck at docking as well, so it'd make you less prone to crashing your docking. There you go. Lots of plus one. Fantastic. I wonder if that could have an interesting gameplay mechanic as well, like for creative scenario makers. I don't know, having speed limits. What is this music? This is actually SE music, but I've never heard it before. I feel like it's kind of a bit creepy. Air raid sirens and stuff. What's a bit of bass there? Oh, it's like, this is called drill, by the way, guys. You can hear this on. This is an SE track. Okay. This is like, I feel like I've entered a whole new world. I'll link it up for you guys here. Hold on. There you go. What? It's just, my mind's been blown. This track was released like 3 years ago, or over 3 years ago, and maybe more than that. I think this was when Planets came out, so nearly 4 years ago. But it's like I'm hearing it for the first time. Pretty good for those kind of battle scenario makers out there. So there's some people making like either ship battles, and of course there were some really cool ones. I saw Panda's been making an awesome World War II kind of D-Day landing scenario. So, you know, there you go. Sorry, a little side note there. All right. We'll go for at least another like 5 or 10 minutes, guys, until everyone is happy that they've had their questions and points addressed. Any more for any more. The reason why these tracks, I feel like these are the end of the OST, so they're not so often I don't get to them, you see what I mean, because they're kind of further away. Right. A massive influx on tanks. Yeah, Blitz has been replacing a lot of tanks. There's been a lot of tanks in like kind of and also a lot of World War II stuff now. And also parachute mod, Climb's parachute mod was there as well. So I guess a general kind of poll for you guys. If you had to rate this update for what, and obviously surprises not included, for what you've seen so far, where do you rate this on a scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to, I don't know, like rating an SE update? Is it kind of like, yeah, this is like, it's pretty standard SE update, or would you say like, this is like, you know, 0 being like, I'm not interested for this update, it does nothing for me, 10 being like, this is my dream right here? Let's kind of see let's see what the average is looking like in chat. Let's see, there's a question here. What do you think about having faction that can only sell particular type of ship? That would be cool. That would be cool, Chuck. Having like military dealers or mining dealers or exploration dealers or something like that. Okay, all right. Some pretty good numbers. I'm seeing a lot of 8s, a lot of 9s, a lot of 10s, some 6s. So probably averaging around, I don't know, like say like an 8. That's pretty good. God tier, especially for the modding support, 9 out of 10. That's great, Northy. I mean, it's true. If the modders can do what it seems that they can do, this could be bigger than anyone could even imagined at this point. You know, like I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface. If the modders can really do what they think they can do, or it seems that they can do, right? So the months following this update, when it releases, will also be very exciting. What do you reckon, Blitz? Anything else be worth talking about, showing, announcing? Well, we've got everyone here right now. So I think the question, why we don't have these songs, I don't know. Like, I think some sounds or some songs might be missing because we have this sound system. This kind of it's looking for the right mood to play the sounds, and maybe some of the songs haven't been added to that, you know, that kind of selection. And also that Zadini gas stations. Yeah, I would love to see like little NPC stations that had like a tiny interior, right? And they would like, it'd be like, well, what's the movie I'm thinking of? What's the movie? No, you know what I'm thinking of. You know, have you guys seen like the robot chicken? I think it's one of the Star Wars robot chickens when Luke pulls up to this petrol station in space, and it's I forgot the name of it. The thing he cuts the arm off it. If anyone's seen that, at the point I'm diverging, but if you guys have seen that little sketch there, it's like this like tiny little like fuel stop. That's what I'm kind of imagining right now. It'd be cool if you could just go there and the only thing they sold would be gas, right? They'd sell hydrogen, oxygen, and energy as well. That'd be kind of cool. The Wampa, right? Yeah. Good to go. I want to show off some surprises coming, but then again, I don't want to spoil surprises. Yeah, I also want to show off some surprises. It was so easy to show some surprises, and oh man, there's just like one. I've got a screenshot on my desktop right now that I would just. It would be, yeah, but soon. Modding to look forward to. I have many old economy mods. Yes, Sectan. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what some of the older economy-based stuff people will do with the new functionality. You know, like if it be reskins of the existing blocks. Like now you have the safe zone, right? Block. Maybe you can make a cool or a compact one block safe zone block or something. Who knows? Soon, TM. Yeah. Leak averted. Is it the flashy? Yes, it is, Northy. That's what I was thinking about. Northy knows the leak, apparently. Well, as I say, flashy. I mean, that's probably a leak in itself. Like, you take what you want from that. Will stations refill their H2 stock automatically? Yes, Binary Duck. I think all the stations periodically update their stock. They like every 20 minutes they get new items, but not the same items maybe. So there's a chance it won't return. Yes, admins can override safe zones. There's a new admin control in the Alt F10 screen, and it basically says, I forgot the exact text, but it's basically like can go. I've got the game up here. I've got the game up here. I can check. I can go into game real briefly here, I guess. Here I'm in game. Oh wait. No. Yeah, ignore safe zones, and this is a new thing for admins. Hey, Gavus, welcome, man. I mean, I would like to see something like EEM or because this enhanced thing, like some of these ones, now built on top of this, you know, like using the systems, vanilla systems, and then using some modded systems to see just how crazy you can make this these features. Yeah, this is all SE music right now. I mean, I can link here if you guys are interested in the OST. Let's check. I think this is the list of this. This is on the official Space Engineers channel. You guys can wait. That playlist right there is all the 55 tracks, and there's actually some more in there as well, I think, which we've added recently. Do you remember this music? I used to. This is nostalgic for me even because I used to remember making those teasers. You hear that like that weird drop, you know. I wish I could. I probably can't find it now, but that sound where it was like boof hit, and then this music would come in. So yeah, Zakadek, welcome. All right, guys. So is that the end? Oh, that's actually the end of the. No, not quite. Oh, fantastic! Good job, Blitz. Blitz has actually updated the OST with the new tracks as well, so they are all on there. Let's see. So before I head off, I'll just do a final rundown, basically saying thank you guys so much for taking part in this economy playtest. Please do, if you have any more thoughts or bugs that you know about, please do check out the support site, get voting on those issues and those ideas, and we'll see what we can address and yeah, see what we can implement. Also, I'd like to say thanks to Philip again for coming on today. Thank you to Blitz in the chat for keeping an eye on all the stuff behind the scenes. Yes, we'll see. Yeah. And the main announcement from today is the fact that for everyone joining, that we will be releasing a major update, a free major update, which is the economy, which is what we've been testing for everyone. And there will also be some premium content, which will be focused on cosmetics for Space Engineers, like you've seen in previous updates. Again, the biggest difference being in, you know, like with the last update, for example, the style pack, and then we had the like the easy even we had the build planner. Like this stuff is, of course, like it was probably weighted a bit more towards the premium stuff, where when with this update, as you can see, like, well, at least what you like the majority, the big chunk, the gameplay, all that good stuff is all free. It is purely going to be some bonus items that you guys can choose to pick up and support development if you so choose to. Yeah, but I hope this stream was useful for you guys. Again, I didn't really show much today. We just answered lots of questions, but hopefully it was useful. And I will see you guys very soon. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.